Hello and welcome back to Auto Social UK, and as well a massive happy new year to all of my subscribers and everyone watching. I set you a task just before Christmas to get me to 3,000 subscribers by 2021 and you absolutely smashed it. If you're not already subscribed, then please go ahead and do that now. So this is the first video of the year, and this is the hybrid, plug-in hybrid SEAT Leon FR. Now this starts at just a little under £31,000, and that makes it one of the cheapest plug-in hybrids on the market, only slightly being undercut by the Kia Niro and the Hyundai Ioniq. But what else has this car got to offer? Let's check it out. It will take a keen eye to tell the plug-in hybrid apart from the rest of the Leon range. There's a small bit of badging on the rear, and of course you have this front filler cap, but other than that it's business as usual. The front and rear wheels are pushed 50mm further apart for a more athletic stance, and there's greater interplay between curves and sharp edges. Most noticeably, there's now a sweeping line flowing from above the front wheels and over the rear doors, giving the Leon an appearance reminiscent of the sporty Mazda 3. Over the years, the SEAT Leon has gone through quite a few design changes, but it's still very much recognisable as the brand's mid-range hatchback. This generation is no different. It now has a sleeker, forward-facing front nose, which isn't going to be to everybody's taste, including mine. But in my opinion, the best looking change is in the rear. As you can see, the rear of the Leon, in my opinion, is a much nicer view. It's sporty and aggressive. You also have this light bar that runs all along the rear of the car, and unlike on the Toyota Yaris, it does actually function as a rear light. Plus, if you go for the FR model, you do get a set of twin chrome tailpipes, but unfortunately it's style over substance and they don't actually lead to anything. In this hybrid model Leon, the boot space does take a bit of a hit. In the standard model, you get 380 litres of boot space, which is marginally more than you get in the Ford Focus and the same that you get in the Volkswagen Golf. But because this one has to make space for the battery, it means that you lose 110 litres of boot space. The good news though, if you really are concerned about space in your Leon, is for £1,000 more, it does also come in the estate version, where you get lots more space. So let's talk electric, because that's probably why you're watching this video. So how long will it take to charge a SEAT Leon, and how much is it going to cost you? Well, plug this into an at-home wall box and it will take around 4 hours. A 3-prong charger will take around 6 hours, and that's going to cost you between £2 and £3. Then that gives you 30 to 35 miles of realistic electric range. Plenty to get you to work and back for most of us. Inside of the SEAT Leon is very much tech focused, like you'll find over at Volkswagen with its siblings. A lot of the buttons in the Leon have been changed for touchpads, which are slightly strange to get used to at first, like the ones that control your lights and your front and rear fog lights, and also your interior lighting. I'm one to mourn the death of physical buttons, and you won't find many physical buttons on the SEAT's infotainment system. You'll find a few controls on the steering wheel, but on this centre panel there's not any at all. Actually, a lot of SEAT's controls are designed with a sliding motion, which can be slightly fiddly and not always as responsive as you'd like it to be. The FR sits in the middle of the lineup, but still gets quite a desirable specification, including a digital cockpit, 10-inch infotainment fitted with sat-nav, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, customisable ambient lighting, automatic lights and rain-sensing wipers, cruise control and parking sensors with a visual aid. This is probably something I'm going to see a lot more of over the coming year, but this car is actually only fitted with USB-C charging points, which are the new chargers that you might have found on your mobile phone. You've got 2 in the front and 2 in the rear. That does mean that you'll have to buy an extra cable and probably leave it in here because it's still a little bit inconvenient. But the FR model does come with wireless charging, which is super handy. The only thing I've found is it's a little bit temperamental. When an automatic gearbox is fitted, a small rocker switch replaces the traditional gear lever. I personally don't think it's quite as sleek looking as the PSA Group Vauxhall and Peugeot's design, but it's a small niggle.
Inside the Leon, the FR gets a set of front sport seats. Apart from the red contrasting stitching, these aren't particularly something you'd describe as sporty. Nevertheless, they're comfortable enough. In the past, SEAT has tried to hide the Leon's rear doors to make it appear more like a three-door, but it ditched this approach on the third generation car and is now its back doors have increased in length. It makes it easier for fitting child seats, and the extra 49mm of legroom over the outgoing model is noticeable, making the Leon feel more comfortable for adults. The FR model also comes with tri-zone climate control and a further 2 USB-C charging points. Under the bonnet is a 1.4 four-cylinder turbocharged petrol engine with a battery and electric motor. It boasts official fuel economy of up to 235.4 miles per gallon. However, like all these headline hybrid figures, once you're running low on electric figures drop to around 75 miles per gallon, but I don't think any petrol drivers would grumble at that.
The plug-in hybrid SEAT Leon is actually really quite quick, so it has a combination of electric and petrol power, which gets you 204 brake horsepower. Use those in combination and you'll get from 0 to 60 in quite a rapid 7.5 seconds. It'll actually, quite hilariously, wheel spin in first when you pull off with that electric and hybrid power. As I mentioned when we were talking about charging, SEAT claim that the hybrid Leon will do around 40 miles on a full charge. But realistically, with real-time figures, it's more like between 30 and 35. Even with those realistic figures, that's still more than you'll get in the Kia and also Hyundai. And it's on par with Mercedes' more expensive A250e. The plug-in hybrid Leon gets rear multi-link suspension and also dynamic chassis control. These are put in place to help with the extra weight that you get from the batteries. The plug-in hybrid Leon is actually 346 kilograms heavier than the lightest car. Dynamic chassis control takes this extra weight into consideration. It analyses the road ahead and it soaks up bumps so that you don't have such a hard ride. There's actually only 2 driving styles available, so you've got a full electric mode and also a hybrid mode. The car can switch between these systems by itself, but it defaults to E-mode on startup. As you'd expect from the names, E-mode tries not to use the petrol engine, whilst hybrid mixes the both. A little subtle design tweak that I really like is rather than have the blind spot monitoring in the wing mirror like in a lot of cars, in the Leon you actually have a light bar that runs along the door. And when someone's in your blind spot, this will blink to let you know that someone's behind you.
Regarding safety, as well as blind spot monitoring, there's also a forward collision warning system, lane keeping assistant, and a safety and service system, which contacts the emergency services in the event of an accident.
It's unlikely that we're going to see a fully electric SEAT Leon, and that's because SEAT are ready to launch their Elbron, which is going to be their fully electric hatchback, roughly the same size as this. It's easy to feel very comfortable and confident behind the wheel of the Leon. It's very precise in its handling and the brake pedal gives great feedback. Thank you so much for watching this video today. If you liked it, please go ahead and give it a massive thumbs up. And if you like new car reviews, then hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much to SEAT in Braintree for lending me the FR Hybrid today. If you wanted any more information on this or any other Leons that they have in stock, then please go ahead and follow the link. I've made sure that they give you an unbeatable offer. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye.